Hello and welcome to Monday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic. Now, yesterday's comments on the video they were very positive about the puzzle that we tried, but I think some of you thought I had it easy. Well, that's going to be corrected today. I'm going to get my comeuppance. This is a new type of puzzle. We've never featured this type of puzzle on the channel before. But it's a variation of things that we've seen. It's a variation of a Pentominos puzzle and a variation on the Japanese sums. And it's by a constructor who also hasn't appeared on the channel before, UHU, which I like to pronounce Yoo-hoo, but that may be incorrect. And this appeared on Logic Masters Germany a while ago. And I can't remember who recommended it to me. That's remiss of me. But it's been recommended and it has a 99% approval rating. So it ought to be very good. It's also got 4 stars for difficulty, which I suspect means it's hard. Now, before we get into the rules, a quick mention. Earlier on today, we released a crossword video. So if you do enjoy cryptic crossword content, then definitely check that out. It's showcasing a particular type of cryptic clue called an and-lit clue. And I think it must be the definitive guide because both Mark and I do crosswords entirely consisting of and-lit clues. So there are more and-lit clues than you can shake a stick at. Now, if you're not into your cryptic crosswords, hopefully you're into your puzzles. Let me read you the rules of this one. In the diagram, some cells must be blackened and numbers from 1 to 9 have to be entered in the remaining cells, so that no number occurs more than once in any row or column. That sounds a bit Sudoku-y. The numbers on the edge, that's these numbers outside the grid, indicate the sums of blocks of connected digits in the correct order. And the sum can be just a single digit. So I guess, that dot there could indicate that that square's a 9, for example. That would be entirely reasonable. It doesn't have to be saying it's a sum to 9. Right, all numbers 2, 3, 5 and 8 are given for the clues outside the grid. A dot stands for any other number from 0 to 9. A 2-digit sum cannot begin with a 0 and must therefore be greater than or equal to 10. Now here's the interesting part. Not that the first bit wasn't interesting, but this is the bit that makes this puzzle stand out, I think. In addition, the black cells form pentominos. The finished grid must accommodate the complete set of pentominos, so that's every single conceivable arrangement of 5 orthogonally connected cells needs to appear in the finished grid here, and the pentominos may not touch, not even diagonally. So this sounds absolutely crazy, but I have to say I am very much looking forward to trying this. It sounds intriguing to me, and I know a number of you guys are fond of nonograms. Well, this is sort of an advanced form of nonogram with a bit of region division thrown into the bargain. So have a go first yourselves if you get the time. The way to play is to click the link under the video, and with that I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, nonograms. So I'm going to pick the biggest digit. It's got a 38 there, so that's got to be at least 6 cells. So this dot could be 1 cell, 1 dot, so a number there followed by a black cell, and then a string of 6 cells would take us to here. Right, so we can see that had we started this from the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these 2 cells would be in that arrangement no matter what. So I'm going to label cells that have to contain digits in green. And obviously black cells I'm going to label in black. Now 33, this one, 5, black cell, dot, black cell, that's the minimum, and then 33 must be 5 cells, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, from this side you can see we're always going to get an overlap in those 2 cells. This clue, dot dot 33, is basically the same structure as that one, which is 5 dot 33, so that must mean those 2 cells are also green. 3 dot 25 dot 5, 3 dot 3 block dot block. 25 must be 4 cells, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now if we go from the other side and we go 5 dot 1, 2, 3, 4, I think we get those 2 cells have to be in whatever. So I'll put those in. Oh, hang on, look. Oh, I should have just looked up here. As soon as I got anything in this column, we've got a 3 dot clue. So that's a 30-something clue, but there's only 1 clue in the column. So all of these greens must be part of the same string, and that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and that's complete because this is 8 cells large. And if it was 9 cells, it would have to add to 45 because it would have to use all the digits from 1 to 9. So we are off and running. We can blacken some cells in, and we can. What can we do now? Oh, row 1, look at that. There's virtually nothing given. 2 dot dot. That is about as unhelpful as it gets. This one. That's annoying. I wondered if I could disambiguate which way the these two sort of 2-digit clues go, but I'm not sure that I can. I think they could both go to the left-hand side of the black dot here. I guess these have to begin with a 1 though, because if they began with a 2 or a 3, they would have to be given. You'd have to be given the 2 and the 3, and they can't begin with a 4 because, well, you can't have them both beginning with a 4 anyway. There would be far too many numbers in the row. Maybe this long string. Look, we've got so dot block 8 block 3 block 2 block. That does fit. That's annoying. So we can't even use this row, I don't think. Look at this column. We've got 3 dot and dot 2. So if my conjecture's right, and that's a 12 clue, this has to be a very small number, this dot, because we mustn't breach the 45 total. So this is either 42, 43, 44 or 45, the column total for this one. 12 dot 1, 2, 3, 4, because if this was 30, it would only be 4 cells, conceivably. And that doesn't reach down, so that's no use. 22, 22. Right, so there's a couple of things I can notice about that. 22 and 22 add to 44. So this column must use 8 cells because it can't use, it's missing a 1 basically, because the maximum would be 45. So this column is either going to be, well, it can't, it's got 2 clues, but you can't make 22 in 2 in just 2 digits. So it's either going to be sort of 3 digits and then 5 digits, or it's going to be 4 digits and 4 digits. But I'm not sure that helps us because we can still join these up and there would be plenty of room for 4 underneath. So that doesn't help, or even that could be 5 and then 3 underneath. Oh, look, we can do it. Yes, we can do a trick though using the 22 column. Let's do a trick. Can that square be black? Well, the answer's no, but it might not be immediately obvious why. Now, the reason this can't be black is that if this is black, I can't fit 22 into that domino. So those two must be black as well. And now we know pentominos don't touch each other, even diagonally. So those 4 squares would have to be green. And look, the top clue in column whatever that is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is 12 by 12, so this is column 10. The top clue in column 10 is a dot. So it can't take, the minimum we could make 4 different digits add up to would be 10. And obviously that is not a 2-digit clue. So that is a nice trick. That tells us that's green. Still could join these up though. Can I do the same down here actually? Yes, I can. Symmetrical logic. This can't be black because if it is, those turn black and that creates a run of 4 greens in this column, which it can't be. So yeah, we can say that is also green. I love this puzzle so far. This is fascinating. Oh no, but still this 22 could go, I mean that could be a 3-cell run and then a 5-cell run on top. I can't actually even join these up yet. 15, 13 and dot dot. Sorry, I'm just trying to see if there are any clues that are obviously... That's a 30 clue that I didn't spot that one. 30 something and 5. So once, but the thing is, 3 dot could just be 30, which is only 4 cells, and it's not enough. You can see even if I run the 4 cells up, I could easily fit an alternative arrangement into that column where the 4 cells start up there. So that's no use. So what exactly am I meant to do here? Maybe so dot block 2 cells. No, this one. I think I've even looked at that already. I feel like I've looked at that and concluded somewhere else that I couldn't. I have looked at this one already, haven't I? I'm just going doolally. Oh dear. Sorry. I told you I hadn't done any of these before. Now. So maybe we're meant to use the pentominos somehow. It's quite interesting actually. I've just thought of something. I don't know, I don't think I can use it, but I can't, for example, I couldn't have dominoes, these two being black and these two being black, because then these would both be sort of P pentominos. And those would be the same shape. And we're looking for a complete set of pentominos. Which actually I took to mean just one of each. So the black form, the complete set of pentominos. A complete set of pentominos. Yeah, that's a tricky one actually. I may even clarify that after it. I think I'm gonna proceed on the basis that I am just trying to put one of each pentomino in. Otherwise, well, otherwise it's going to be even more difficult. So if I've got to put one of every pentomino in, and I definitely have to do that, I've got to put an I pentomino in the grid. Now I pentominos are quite large. Actually, that is a sensible thing to think about. So if we had an I pentomino in a column, let's just put it in and see what it looks like. This would have to be completely surrounded by greens because we can't touch it even diagonally. That is an immense constraint because now I've got to have a run here of 7 green cells, which must be at least actually equal to 28, because that's the minimum I could make 7 cells add up to with different digits. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 added up. And I'd also have to have 7 there. So this is going to be... I suppose I could put it on an edge, actually. Let me just put it on an edge and see what that looks like. If it was here... yeah, okay. Then it would only need 6 cells. But that's still quite a big restraint. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually try and see if this takes me anywhere. Let us delete all that. And so if we can get away with 6 cells if it's on the border, I'm going to find all of the columns and rows where it's possible in theory to have a run of 6 green cells. So let's go. Look, there's going to be... Oh no, these two can't. That one can't. That one can't. This might be more profitable actually than I thought. That one can. That one can. That one can. And that one can. Okay, so that's already interesting though. I'll tell you why in a moment. Let's have a look down the rows as well. That one, that one, that one. That one, that one. That one, that's a shame. I think that's it. I may be missing one there because it's quite easy to misscan where the dots are. But let us have a look. Where should we look first? Well, for example, I can see immediately that there can't be an I pentomino in column 11 because there is not space for 6 consecutive cells in any of those clues there. Now, what about this 20-something clue? Could that accommodate an I? Ah, no, this isn't going to work because of... Ah, yeah, this is good. This is good because there's not going to be enough space in this column for an I pentomino. Why do I say that? Because... Or is there? Oh, will it fit? Maybe it will fit. That would have to be the arrangement. Now, what's wrong with that? Maybe nothing. Is that possible? Or some variation on it? That's the question. So all of those would have to turn green in that example. This 30 clue would have to be... Oh, the 30 clue would be problematic because of this 5. Ah, that's interesting. And this 2 is also problematic. Oh good grief, this is complicated. Because what I'm trying to do is to prove that whether or not I can put an I pentomino in column 12 of the grid. Now, you can just do it with these numbers, but only if the 30 clue is 4 cells large. And it has to be the first clue in this column. Now, obviously, we can try different arrangements, but it's not possible for a 30 clue to be 4 cells if it includes a 5. So if we make this square green, it can never work. Because that 30 clue would have to be 5 cells and there isn't a room in the column. So that would have to be black. Those 2 would have to be black. And this now won't work, I don't think, because this is not going to work for column 11. Good grief, this is complicated. So let's have a think. So this is a 30 clue. So the only arrangement that could conceivably work for column 12 is that I pentomino is at the top, which shields the 2 and the 5 away, which is what we want to do. But now, look, I mean, this is just absolutely broken. We need a 3 clue at the top of column 11, and it's not. It's going to have to be a 6-cell run. Wow, okay, that is complicated. So we've gone a long way, and we've ruled out an I pentomino from here. From here. Here might be possible. So if it was here, we need the... So it's going to have to be somewhere close to the bottom. Oh no, this won't work. This won't work because although 22 is in theory possible, it's not possible for this particular column with 22 in it. Because earlier on we noticed that we have to make sure that we either have a 4 and a 4 or a 3 and a 5. Now the moment I have an I pentomino in an adjacent column, that's a 6-cell run that's necessary, and then you'd need another 3 cells to get to the other 22, and that's already 9 cells, and that should add to 45, not 44. Wow, okay, so sorry, this has taken me a long time, but I am at least developing some logic. So this can't be because there's no 21 possibility in this column, which means, so all of these are impossible. Absolutely impossible, because they don't have the necessary sort of features. Now this one's impossible. We can't have one in this column because this column can't take one, so that's not got it in it. Well, actually I'm going to leave that in because it looks like column 2 could have and column 1 could have. If I'm going to get left with loads, maybe I shouldn't look at this. Can I rule out any of the rows quickly? I might abandon this if I can't. Let me just check. So if we're going, oh, this won't work. There's a 33 clue here. Yeah, so yeah, there's just not enough space in this row. Once these two are green, the I pentomino has to be this side, and wherever it goes, even if we try and keep it really, close to the border, what we're going to find is this one. This is just not going to work. It just we need a 3 clue at the start, and we can't have one. Let me just try and do that a little bit more of an articulate way. If we don't put it on the border, we need 28, which we haven't got in either of these. So it has to go on the border. It therefore has to go there. And now this is broken. There you go. That definitely breaks. So we can't put one here. Here, there's no possibility for here. So we're on to testing these two rows. These are the only possible rows where the I pentomino could go. Now, please don't work. Oh, yeah, look. I think this barrier across the grid is going to be hugely important, because we can't put the I pentomino this side of it. And once it's this side of it, if we put it here, for example, the 33 is in the wrong place. It's just in the wrong place. It's just not going to work. If we try and put it here, again, there needs to be a single digit clue here, which is going to not completely enclose the I pentomino. And if we put it off the boundary, then we need a 28 clue, not a 25 clue. So maybe if we put it off the boundary here and we make this 29, that would be, but that doesn't work. Maybe there. Then let me just check this. All of those turn. But there's a 2-digit clue to the left of it. This is just absolute nonsense. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. All of the rows do not have an I pentomino. So we know the I pentomino is either here in column 1 or it's in column 2. Now, can we rule it out? Which one shall I go for first? Which one do I think is the more likely to have the I pentomino in it? I think it's more likely to be here, because this one's got more real estate in terms of green cells. So let's try and rule this one out. So if the I pentomino is in this column, we need the 20. So the 28 clue, the earliest it could begin would be here, and it would have to be a 7-cell run. We need it to cover all 7 cells. So that would put the I pentomino in those 5 cells. Now, if the 28, on the other hand, was right at the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these squares would always have to be in the I pentomino. Now, does that fail for any reason? The answer is I'm not sure. So these squares would all be green. These squares would all be green. Now, this square would then have to take another square, and that would shift the I pentomino down. Now, is there anything wrong with this arrangement? I really hope so. Yeah, that breaks absolutely in row 12. We can't put a 2 there. So this is impossible. I hope one of them is possible. So I don't think that I pentomino can go in column 2, because the 28 that needs to surround it is locked. Let me just check my logic there. It's locked into positions that require the I pentomino to take a couple of cells here, and then we can use Yeah, then we can use the logic with the 22 to force this square. I think that is good logic. No doubt you'll correct me if I'm wrong. Now, so I need to put the I pentomino now into column 1, or I have absolutely failed. Where is it going to go? That's the question. So let's do the same thing with this 30 clue. The 30 clue now needs to be at least 6 cells. Just wondering about that 28 clue. Is it possible if the I was there? I better just check that. That's just bugging me. No, that can't work, surely. That can't work because the 3 clue just fails absolutely at the bottom there. I can't make all of those squares black. That's fine. Okay, so coming back to this, if we go, so 5 dot, and then I need the 30 clue to be at least 7 cells if it's here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if it's 6 cells from the top, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6. So I think that square is always part of the I pentomino. That's what I get from that. Now, does that tell me enough? Well, if that's part of the I pentomino, those 3 squares can't be black because that's going to touch another pentomino. Remember the I pentomino is going vertically. So we get here. Anything wrong with this yet? There's probably, I'm just thinking, there's probably a really simple way of just developing this stuff over here, and I'm going off on one of my wild goose chases. If so, I do apologise. Now, let's think about this. So one of the things I'm wondering now is where this 20 clue goes. Now the 20 clue could go above the I pentomino or below the I pentomino. I think both are possible. But if it goes above the I pentomino, this is interesting because that is a 2. So if it takes this square, the 20 clue must take all those squares. Otherwise, yeah, this is quite good. This is quite interesting. So either this square is, the 20 clue must always be 3 cells. So whether this cell is in or not, those 3 squares would have to be green in order to fit in a 20 clue. So let's just, if those have to be green, if the I pentomino is below the 20 clue, it has to be this configuration. Now, is this broken? That is the question. And if so, if it is broken, why is it broken? Let me just take a stare at this for a second. Oh, yes, maybe this is broken. Where do we put the 5 clue? It would have to be there, and that would have to be a black square. Oh, a black square. And now I've got how do I do this now? Because the first clue from this side is a 2. But I know that that's equal to a 5. It can only be equal to a 5 from this clue. There's only one space for it. So this is impossible. This is impossible. Now, why does this matter? Well, it's huge. That means there is no 20 clue above my I pentomino, which means there is no clue above my I pentomino, which means the I pentomino takes all of those squares. Happy days. Ha ha ha, I've got you. There we go. That is where I think the I pentomino lives in this puzzle. So this square is a 2 now. We can't fit less than a 2 in that square. I'm going to fill them in actually. When I get them, I'm going to I'm going to colour them in, because otherwise I think I'll just lose track of which ones I've looked at. Like, oh no, that could be a 1-2 pair. Bother. This 20 clue must be at least 3. We've already sort of looked at that, so those must be in. Surely I get more from this. That took ages and was quite difficult. I don't know if I do actually. Good grief. No, I'm not sure that I do. This is maybe I get a restriction in the rows though. If yeah, look at row 2. Yeah, before I could fit this 13 clue to the left of this dot, because I could go 13 dot, a 2-cell sum dot, and then fit the green in here for this square. Now I can't because of the black square. It shifted everything over to the one square. So now this 13 has to live to the right hand side of the black dot, and that fixes more stuff. We get those, and we get a black square here in between. We don't know what this one is. Now, do we know? Oh, 30 clue. So that's got to be at least another 3 down there, because this must be at least 4 cells large from the top. The 33 clue now, if we can fill those in. And now this black pentomino has got isolated. Oh, this is huge, because now that must be black, because this must be 5 cells large. And we can't connect it to here now, because that would create a 6-cell, I don't know, hexomino? I don't know, something. We don't want one of those. So we must take this square as well. Okay. Now, can we take this any further? Oh, I've got some logic. Row 1. Yeah, this is gorgeous. Okay, so is it possible all those squares are black? Well, quite clearly not. If all of those squares were black, we create a 7-cell shape, and we're only allowed to have 5-cell shapes. So I know that there must be an actual digit in that run of cells there. What about those 2 squares? Can they both be black? Well, for the same reason, no, they can't. That would create a huge region. So one of these 2 squares must be a digit. Now, there are only 3 clues in this row. I've already got one of them. Another one must be in that run. Another one is in that run, so that square is black. That means that one's green for our 4 cells. This is a 2 clue, so that must be a 2 on its own. That gives me another black square. Yeah, okay. Now if the 2 is in a 30 clue, you still need another 4 cells. So that means that must also be green. That must be green because it's part of a 2-cell sum. This square is getting isolated. Let's make sure it doesn't. That means that square must also be black, because it must the minimum number of cells that could take would be those 5 there. Now, sorry, I'm stuck again. That's got to be a 5. Look, because of the 5 here. Actually, let me colour that in. The 2 also is coloured in. Oh, yeah. Now the 22 clues become better, because I now can't connect this run of 3 to this one. That would create a 6-cell run, and we know that's impossible. So these must connect to each other. And that means that square's black, because we can't have a 6-cell run in the column. Now, now look at this clue on the bottom row. So I presume all of this can't go this side. No, it can't. So the 12 clue must go this side and must be that one. This is a 20 clue, so it must be 3 cells. This is a 38 clue, so that fills in that one. It's just brilliant. I love puzzles like this. Now, let's keep this going though. Don't lose your concentration. So this pentomino is either a T or a Z. I don't know how to tell which of those is correct. Dot 1, 2. We don't actually know whether any more greens go in row 2. Sorry about this. Oh, this is a 3, so we can put a 3 in there and make that blue. This is a 2-cell region, so that turns green. 33, that turns green. Now this pentomino is isolated, so both of those turn black, and we've found our P pentomino. So does that matter? I mean, it does matter a bit in the sense that I can see now it's not possible for this to be a black square. In fact, it's not possible for this to be a black square now, because I can't fit a green cell above it if I do. So both would be black, and then this pentomino would be appearing twice in the grid, assuming I'm only looking for one of each. But there are 12. Well, how many? I thought there were. How many actual complete pentominoes are there? FIL 6. There are 12. There's no way you can put 13 pentominoes in this grid. I'm going to assume that I'm allowed to say no repeated pentominoes, because I just don't believe I can fit them in. So, assuming that's true, this square cannot be black and therefore is green. Now this one therefore has to go there and there. Now it could be a U pentomino. It can't ever get to this square, so that square must be green. Still don't know what this... Wow, this is... there's so much complexity here. So here we've got dot 5 and then a double-digit clue. So if that's 5 dot 12 dot, no, that would be possible. Okay, bother. 33 is at least 5 cells, but again we don't. I know it's got to extend, but I don't know whether it extends that way or both. I can do the same trick I did up here on the bottom of this column. It's not possible for this to be black, because if it is black, that's also black, so that must be green. I think that's pretty unhelpful though. I don't even know if that's a 2 or a 3 from this row. If that's 30, 23, that could be 6, 8, 9, and that could stop there. There must be something I'm missing here that's a simple way of progressing this. What is that thing that I'm missing? I'm so sorry if it's really obvious as well. It's quite likely in a puzzle like this that I'm missing all sorts of stuff. 33 here, so that could end there. That would be absolutely fine. This is just a dot. That's a 22 clue, so those two have both got to come out. I don't know if that's helpful. No, it's not really, but at least it's more greens in the grid. This has got to be a 2-cell clue because of this clue. 21, 38 dot. And then we've got this arrangement at the bottom here. 2 dot block. That square's got to be in because of the 2 cell, well, the 15 clue there. But unfortunately its counterpart is just a single dot, so that's unhelpful. But I suppose that's limiting this one a bit more. This square can't be a black square because that's going to create a P pentomino however it develops. So that's a dot, which means this is black. We've got 2 sort of L tetrominos, so they mustn't form the same shape. So one of these is going to be a U and one of them is going to be a sort of longer L pentomino, but I need to know which way. Oh, now this might be interesting for this column though. Is it possible that this dot refers to those 3 now? I don't think it is. 5 dot, no it's not. So this is hugely important. So let's look at this column now. How are we going to make this work? Is it possible this square is green? The answer is no. That must be black. Once this is black, it's a Z pentomino. Actually, which does make this green. This must be a 5. That fills in the 5. This must be 12, so make that green. We can't now extend that further down, so that becomes black, but I don't know whether this is 2 cells or not. Do I? No, I don't. But this is part of a pentomino. It's got to come out. Now this is getting interesting again. This square now can't be a pentomino, because if it is, it would have to extend and create a 6-cell pentomino. So that becomes green. This is part of a 12, so that becomes green. Now what? Now I'm stuck again. No. Yeah, no, I'm not stuck. This is 20, so it can't fit in that square, so that square's got to be black. So this could still have a variety of shapes. It could be a T, it could be an F, it could be an L. It just can't be a P. This is a 20 clue, so that's got to extend one more. This is all getting quite congested in this column, but not congested enough for me to know how to finish it. 15 dot block. 2's got to be in one of those cells. Block. Is there anything wrong with that? It's just mind-boggling. Sorry, I realise that I keep grinding to a halt and not actually being able to compute what to do now. I don't think I've done that badly, but I'm still hopeless in terms of finishing it. This 25 clue's got to be 4 cells at least, so that becomes green. 3 dot. Oh. Okay, this is important now. This is huge. Those 2 have both got to be black. Good grief, I should have seen this earlier. So that square is a 3. I'll make it blue, therefore. Now this is an interesting pentomino piece. This square cannot be a pentomino, otherwise this pentomino will connect to this and it can't be part of the same pentomino. So that must be green. This must be black. That must be black because we can't put 2 cells in here. Oh no. Oh no, I can fix it. I was thinking this is an L pentomino, and I assumed that these pentominos were an L and a U pentomino. But no, this one could be, in fact they both can be a Y pentomino. So when I said L, I should have been saying Y. Oh, thank goodness for that. So That's good. That's got to come out. That forces the direction of this one. That's got to go there. That's got to go here. That can't be in now, or it's touching. This becomes a Y pentomino. This must not be a Y pentomino, so that's a U pentomino. And we cook with a little bit of gas there for a moment before we grind to another halt. Don't know what either of those are, but they correspond to those. Oh, this has got a 5 in it. So it can't be a 5-cell sum adding to 33, because that would have to be at least a 6 for that to be the case. So that extends another one. That completes the 15, or does it? Yes, it does. It does complete the 15, because I haven't got an earthly way of filling in the rest of that otherwise. So that becomes that, that becomes that, both of these extend out. So I've now used a few pentominos. I'm almost getting to the point where that's quite handy, but not quite. 20 would be very handy to know what this one did, wouldn't it? So if that was green, that would have to be green. Oh, dearie me. So we've got 2, then we've got another 2, which could be there, then a 3, then an 8, which that's this column is useless. This column at the moment is useless. This column is not useless anymore, because this black region here has helped. So if that's a dot, 28 must be 4 cells. Right, so we get a couple more greens into those positions, which of course are useless. Now, there's a 2 there, look. I'm going to take advantage of that, which means this square is a 3 now, because it can't be a 1 and a 2. That gives me another black square, thank you. I will take that. There must be a 9 in one of those cells because of this 22 clue in 3 cells. This square, we don't know. Eight dot. No, this is so unconstrained. Block. So the 2 has got to go in one of these two. So this 2 here has got to go either here, where it would have to have a 1 above it, or here, where it has to form a... that's impossible. So if this is a 2, what goes into this square in order to make this add up to 5? It would have to be a 3, and that would clash. So the 2 goes here, which means this is a 1, and that means that square is a black square. These 2 turn green, that becomes, and that become blue. That must be a black square. This one we don't know. This is a single digit clue. Although actually I say that it is a single digit clue, but it doesn't have a plethora of options. It can be 1, 4. It's got to be a digit that's not a given digit, so it can be 6, 7 or 9. So this is 1, 4, 6, 7 or 9. Well, it can't be 4, because if it's 4 you'd have to put a 3 here, and you can't, so it's not 4. Is it 6? If it's 6, you can't use 1, 2, 3. It would have to be a 5. Oh, 5 here. That looks like it's going to be what it needs, isn't it? No. That fails for a weird reason. That fails because of pentomino logic. Because those 2 squares would have to be black. And now this pentomino here connects to this pentomino. It's not part of the same pentomino. So actually 5 does not work there. Or 6, sorry, 6 as a clue, but 5 into this square. 7 won't work, because that would either make this a 6, which clashes with the 5, or mean I have to do a 3 cell 7 clue, which would need a 2. 9 isn't going to work either for exactly the same reason. You have to use a 2 and a 3 and a 3 cell 9 clue. You have to use a 2 or a 3. So I think this has to be a 1. If I'm wrong, you'll have to sue me. I think that's a 1, and I think I can make that blue. Now, does this break the puzzle open? Oh, no. But it does mean the 8. It does mean the 8 in this row must now just be a single-celled 8. This... now hang on, these pentominos must be the same, so that must connect to that. And this can't be a Y pentomino, because we've already got one of those, so that must be green. It can't be a Z pentomino, I've already got one of those, so that must be green. It can be an F, or is that an N, I think that's called. Oh, and this is a 28. Oh, this is great. That's 28 means that's green, and I think this has to be a single cell 8 for the reasons I was just harping on about. So that is an 8. That means this. Oh, that means both of those squares are black because I've got no clues between the 8 and the 3. So this square. Oh no, that could still be a 2 cell 5 or a single 5. Bother. And it was going so well. 30. No, that's no use. Maybe I've got to go back to the pentominos again. This square must be green, because if it's black, it's connected to this one. This is either going to be a W or an L. Actually, if that square's green, maybe I can. That's a really interesting cell to be green. Actually, this square's green for the same reason. So this square must be a... Oh, this is brilliant. This square must be a 2. Because this is a 12. That must be a solitary 2. Why does that matter? Oh, well, it... Oh, no, it doesn't. Oh, well, I'm not sure it matters. It gives me another... I'm not sure why it matters. Maybe it doesn't. I don't believe it. So this 8 is what I was looking at there, but it could be 2 cells or just 1 cell. What a puzzle this is. This is so hard. I've not even got anywhere near filling in the pentominos yet. I'm going to be very interested after, if I can finish it, to see what the sort of the time from the world's best solvers is for a puzzle like this. Whether they get it done in sort of 15 minutes or something. That would be incredible. So. Sorry, this is now hemmed this N in, so that is an N pentomino. That must be green. These regions have to be kept apart, look. So this is a 1-4 version of the 5. This pentomino has to come out. Oh, good grief. So now we're getting we really are cluttered here in terms of trying to finish off these shapes. Just wondering, I've got to put an X pentomino in somewhere, and an X pentomino is a horribly difficult pentomino to put in if I can't put anything connecting to it diagonally. That would have to be an F. That doesn't work. Okay, that's interesting. This can't be an X pentomino. Let me just show you why exactly. Those squares have to turn green. This square can't connect to this black run, so it would have to be an F pentomino, making all of those squares green. And now this can only be a P pentomino, which it can't be. So maybe this is a good way to think about this. Where does the X pentomino go? So if this was the X pentomino, let's just have a look at that. All of these squares would turn green. Oh, well, you can see that either therefore becomes a P or it connects to this one, which is impossible. So I think, actually, with reflection, there is only one pentomino that can be the X pentomino, and I hope to God it's this one, or this is all going to be for nothing. That must be an F now. That does fit, thank goodness. That's rather nice, look. This square being black disambiguates this pentomino, makes it W. This can't be a P pentomino, so it must take that. It now can't be an F pentomino, so it doesn't take this. This becomes a T pentomino, and I'm missing the L pentomino, which does go there if I do that. Wow. Okay, so that is how to do the pentomino part of the puzzle. Now we have to do the rest of it. Now, let's try and pick off any easy digits. So that's a laugh, isn't it? Easy digits in this puzzle. That's a 5. That's a 5. Let's shade those two in. No more up there. That 5 we've sort of fixed. 3. I should be. Oh, that's a 1-2 pair. Look, let's put that in. I'm going to say I've done that because I sort of have. That must be an 8 on its own. So let's put that in. I wonder if I'm going to be better or worse at the sort of this part of the puzzle. That square's got to be an 8 for the same reason. That must be a 2. So both of those turn blue. 22. No, I don't think we get any more from that one or that one. So we get to here. Okay. Now, what does that tell us about the world? I have not got a clue. Is there anything easy here now? Please don't let this still be very, very difficult. So this clue's got to be, just looking at this clue, which is 12 in 3 cells, but it can't use a 2. So it must use a 1, because 3, 4 and 5 add to 12, and that would break that with that 5 there. So it's got a 1 in it. Oh, and it can't have an 8 in it. Yeah, this is nice. Oh, this is nice. This gives us a 1, 4, 7 triple, because once we get there's a 1 in it, the other 2 cells add to 11, but they can't include 3, 8, they can't include 2, 9, they can't include 5, 6. So this becomes 1, 4, 7, a snooker score, if ever I heard one. That's 12. We get this one. This is 12 clue. Well, if this was a 4, that would have to be an 8, and there's an 8 in the row, so that's a 7. That's a 5, that's a 4, that's a 1. Splendid, Melchett. Now, 15 here. So these two add up to 7 without... Oh, bother. So it's 3, 4 or 1, 6, both of which are possible. This one, we don't know what it is. This 1, I suppose it does disambiguate this. That gives me a few more digits. Look, that's nice. Thank you. Oh, this has got to be 13 without using a 1 and a 2. So it's got to be 3, 4 and 6. That's the only way you can do that. So that's 3, 4, 6. Let's colour it in. This one we don't know anything about. This 20 clue maybe, given we got a 5 in here. This is interesting. This is interesting. Let's look at this. It's not possible to put a 9 in any of those two positions. If this was a 9, this clue would have to be double digits. If this was a 9, this is a 12 clue, so this would be a 3, which it can't be. So this has to add up to it has to add up to 20. That's the only thing it can get to that starts with a 2. So that's a 7 and an 8. This can't be a 7, because if it was, this clue would have been a given clue. It would have been an 8. So this must be the 8. This must be the 7. This must be a 5. So that we can shade in, that we can shade in. That felt like decent logic, but it's still not really buttering any parsnips, as Mark likes to say. At least it doesn't seem like I've made an error yet. I think this puzzle would be incredibly easy to make an error in. These squares can't include a 7, but we've got to get as high as at least 30. So they've got to be 6, 8 and 9. Oh, that's good. Okay, does that give us anything? No, of course it doesn't, but at least it limits the options for those cells, I suppose. Oh, that's an interesting... This run of 5 has to add up to 33, but can't use a 5. So that's only possible one way then. That's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you can include a 5, you can go 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. But as you can't, that's the only way we can do it. Now that's got a 3 and a 6 in it, so that square's got to be a 4. We don't know. Oh, maybe we can narrow this down now, because this is a clue. This is one of these clues that's either, well, it can't be 1, it can't be 4. It can't be 7, look, because that would need a 3 here, and there's a 3 in there already. And it can't be 9. Ah, great. So this is 6. This square is a 2. I'm tempted, I have to say, to look at this column now, actually. I'm going to make that blue. Now this double-digit clue here has to add to something that I couldn't have clued at all. So the first digit's going to be a 1. It could be a 3 there, couldn't it? 3 is possible. 4 is not possible. 6. If it was 6... No, if it was 6, that would have been a dot 3 clue. So 6 is not possible. 7. That would have been 1, 4. That would be okay. Oh. Actually, 9 might work as well, thinking about it, because 14, 16, that could be 1, 6. Bother. Okay. Sorry. That was a wild goose chase. 25 here without using 8 or 5. So there's got to be a 9 in there, that's for certain. Because 7, 6, 4, 3 is just nowhere near. Does there have to be a 7 in there? So 9, 6. Yes, there does. There does have to be a 7. So the other two cells have got to... Yeah, okay, here we go. The other two cells have got to add up to 9, but we can't use 1, 8, 2, 7 or 4, 5. So this is forced. This is 3, 6, 7 or 9. That can't be 3. Look, because of this 3 here. Okay. Okay, well, it's a little bit helpful, isn't it? But maybe not helpful enough. So again, I'm so sorry if there are many obvious things I'm missing here. It's very likely to be the case. It just depends where my attention goes at any one time. This has got to be 12, look, at the top here. So this is can't be using 8. This is either 3, 9, which would have to be like this, or it's 5, 7, which would... Ah, that's a bit limited. That's got to be like that. This 33's and that 25 are basically done. Oh, good grief. Good grief. Well, that's easy to miss, and I did miss it. This has got 9 cells in it. Oh, good grief. So this must add to 45, this row. Well, if that lot's 38, that square's got to be a 7. Whew. So those two squares have got to add up to 13 without using 7, 6 or 5, 8. These are 4 and 9. I can do that. So that's not 9. I've got to be a bit... Actually, that's interesting. Oh, yeah, this is interesting. This can't be 7 because that would add to 21 and that would be clueable. Well, you'd have 2 dot and you don't. So that's a 3. And that means the actual clue there, let's check this works. What? Oh, no, 1, 7. I thought it added up to 18. I was like, why is that not clued? But no, 17. That's fine. This 20 clue now, look. Yes, this 20 clue can't have a 9 in it. So this is either 876 or 875. It's definitely got 8 in it. So this is all the rest of the digits in this row. So it is 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. Now let's see what we can eliminate here. We can eliminate 3 and 5 from that one, 5 from that one, 3 from that one, 3 from that one. Are we able to say anything more about this? This square, look. This is a 20 clue, so this can't be a 4. When I say 20, it's 20 something. If there's a 4 here, I just can't get to any number that begins with a 2. Yeah, so I suspect I can narrow down the options for this square now. I'm not sure, but I suspect I can. Because if we look at the row, the actual only options for this square are 6, 7 and 9. So 9 would work, a 9-6 pair would work. And a 6-7 pair would not work. So this can't be 7. Oh no, hang on. If this was 7, it could be 7, 9. Oh. There's definitely a 9 in here. That's what I've concluded, sorry. There's definitely a 9, therefore there's no 9 there. So, actually 6, look, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a 6, 7, 8, 9 triple, I think. So this square then, what's that square going to be? Oh, it's no good. But it's quite a restricted square in the sense it's got to be, in fact, what's it got to be? It can't be, it's got to be 1, 2 or 4 and it can't be 2. So this is a 1 or a 4. So if it's 1, that has to be 9. If it's 4, this has to be 6. So this is never 8. But still, although I feel like I've got lots of repeated digits in this area of the grid, but not quite enough to actually finish off the logic. This has to add to 13, look, so that square's got to be 4, 5, 6 or 7, and it can't be 5 or 7. So this can't be 6 or 8. Six, 9. 23, 25, oh no. Ah! No. Oh. I was just wondering about this. This adds to 22. Is there something we can do with that? The answer is I'm not sure. So close now to actually resolving. Maybe here, look, this... Ah, yeah, this one maybe, because that's got to be a digit that would not be clued. So it can't be a 3. That's no use. This one's got to add to 12. That is useful, look. This one is useful. That can only be 3 and 9. That means that's not 9. Okay, now is that helpful? I don't know. Don't know. It'd be really useful if I knew there was a 5 in this row that wasn't here, because then this would be 9, 6, 7, and that would have quite a big effect down here, look. That would force this to be a 3, this would have to be an 8, this would have to be a 5, and this would have to be a 4. But at the moment, this could still be 5, 8, 9. I don't know. I just don't know. Ah, I do know. I do know. Here is a 6, 7, 9 triple. So this square's got to be an 8. That means these two squares are not 8. And it's the other way round. This is not now 6, 7, 9, because if it is 6, 7, 9, both of those squares have to equal 3. So if this is 5, 8, 9 to add to 22, this is a 5, these two squares are 8 and 9. Now we can remove 9 from there, remove 9 from there, remove 8 from here, remove 9 from here. And please keep going. I don't believe it. This feels like it must matter, I have to say. 5, 8, 9 here, that's got to be an 8, look, because of the 13 clue. I didn't spot that, so those two clues are done. This clue is a single digit clue and it's got an 8 in it, so that's got to be a 1. We can fill that one in. And that one. This 5, look, means this square becomes a 3. That must be, what did we work out this one wanted to be? 9. So that 12 clue gets done. This disambiguates the 9 and the 8 here. That means that square's not a 9. These are nearly useful. This 25 clue, look, we know those squares have got to add to 8 without using 3 and 5. So this is either 1, 7 or 2, 6. This can't be 8 because there's an 8 here. So that actually, this square becomes 8. Now let's have a look at this clue then, 33. At the moment we've got 25, so these two also have to add up. Ah, it's the same thing again. 1, 7 and 2, 6, isn't it? 6 or 9 would work here, you know, because both of those would be unclued. Maybe the 18, is that limited now? Given we can't have 2, 3 or 5 in here. We've got to have a 1 in there, that's for sure. 1, 4, yeah, it's got to be 1, 4, 6, 7. That's the only option. Good grief, okay. That's been sitting there for a while. You can see it's absolutely useless. I mean, that's not a bad deduction, but you can't even do any elimination in any row off the back of that. 30 something here. So this could just be 6, 7, 8. These squares have to be 6, 7, 8 and 9 in some order. We can't put a lower digit in, obviously. Now, is there anything, this, yeah, look at that. So that one can't be 8 or 9. This one can be anything. That one can't be 8. And still we go on. But I mean, I'd like to say we're getting close to a finish. I'm not sure I am, actually. I think very, very slowly we're inching our way towards a finish. This 2, does that... the 4 helps me with these 2 clues. This had to add up to... In fact, I know that's a 4, so that can be coloured in. These 2 have to add up to 7. Now, I know now that these are 1, 6, because they can't be 2, 5, or 3, 4. 1, 6, of course, is totally possible in that position, and in this position, oh, I don't believe it. I feel like this should be more restricted than it is. 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. That can't be 5. That can't be 5 actually either. 3, 6, 7, triple. Good grief. Okay, so that does become a 4. That might be helpful. 6, 9. Oh, good grief. Is this what I've been missing? 4, 6, 9 here. So we can eliminate 4, 6, and 9 from there. We can eliminate 4, 6, and 9 from here. So this becomes a 5, which gives us a 3. Oh, please keep going now. This can't be 5. Interesting, interesting. This clue is interesting now. If this clue at the bottom is a 6, this clue would add up to 20 something, and there should be a 2 dot, not a dot dot. So this is a 1, this is a 6. The 1 means we can eliminate 1s from there, which means we can eliminate 7s from there if my memory is serving me correctly. Now we need to presumably 3, 6, 7. Let me just double check the rest of this now. So this can't be 9 anymore. Now we needed this. Oh, both work. How does this ever get... This only way this gets disambiguated is from what this is. So this must be disambiguatable. Now, maybe that can be done with that one, I suppose. 6, 7, 9. These 2 are both done. I'm colouring them in for the sake of good order. This is not done. This is done. I'm colouring it in. Anything I can colour in now just make me feel slightly better about myself. This has been a brutally humbling experience trying to solve this. Oh dear. Let's keep going. 6, 7, 9. Every digit feels like it's sort of, you know, you've had to drag it up a hill. 3, 6, 7 here. That can't be 8, obviously. Let's remove that pencil mark. I can't remember if I checked this one. I don't think I did, to see whether or not I could... There must obviously be a... neither digit must be clueable here. So if this is 6, you get 1, 4, which is fine. If it's 7, that doesn't work, because you get 1, 5, which should be clued. So this is 6 or 8. This has got, look, this adds to 15, and it can't use 1, 3, or 5. So it must have a 2 in it. There must be a 2 in this run of cells. And the other 2 cells have got to add up to 13. So this is a 2, 6, 7 triple. Yes, yes, 2, 6, 7 triple, because that gives me this square, 4. And that square, 9. That fixes the 3 and the 9. This square can't be 9. This square can't be 3. That square can't be 9. That gives me a 6, 7 pair. There's no 6's there, so there's no 2's there, which means there's a 2 at the top. This is a 6, 7 pair, so we get rid of the 6, 7 in there as well. We've got loads of 6, 7's everywhere. Look, 6, 7's here, so this has got to be a 3. Wow, okay. Well, that's good and all, but it's not finished it off, of course. This is an 8-cell run. That's interesting. This 8-cell run must include a 4, because if the 4 is a missing digit, this would add to 40 something, 41 in fact. So the only place the 4 can go, I think, is there. Everything else is pencil marked something else, so that's got to be a 1, 6 or a 7. 2, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. 5, 8, 9 are the options for this square. That can't be 5, so this is an 8 or a 9. And if the 5 was missing, we'd have the same problem. That should be 40, so the 5 is not missing. The only place the 5 can go is there. Why does that matter? This is a 20 clue, so it needs an 8 and a 7. Wow. Okay. That means this is a 6. 7, 6, 7. 15 here. Oh, I suppose that has disambiguated that anyway. Good. I still don't know what this is, though. Okay, well, there was a little bit of... that's got to be 10. That looks good, doesn't it? So this square's blue. Everything in the bottom is done. This column is basically done. These... No, that's not done. This is done. 1, 2 is done. 6 is what went into that one. That's done. This is done. This is not really done. That's done. Done. Done to all intents and purposes. Okay. Still it resists. I mean, it doesn't just resist, it's sort of, it's almost laughing at me. 6, 7 pair here. So again, I don't think I know. Maybe the 33 is not. I know they add up to 8, but I still don't know which way round they go. Same thing here. In fact, is that a deadly pattern? Have I just proved I've broken the puzzle? No, I haven't broken it, because it could be disambiguated by this being a 1. No, I haven't. No, it's not a deadly pattern. It's complete. It's a tiredness related pattern. That's what it is. This square's blue. That's blue. This is blue. This square, therefore, has got to be... Let's look at this square. This has got to be our old friend 1, 4, 6, 7 or 9. Now, it can't be 4 It can't be 6. Oh, I don't know. Why did I say it can't be 6? That's because I thought there was a 6 here. This is a 1 or a 6, apparently. Which is fine and a bit useful, except I can't see how to do anything with it. Does this need an 8 in it? That would be good if it did. I don't think it does though. It's got 10. If this was 6, 7, 9, that would be 32. And 32 is impossible because the 2 could be clued. So this is an 8. Which of course doesn't help at all. But except, I suppose, in that now I need 14 from here. So if this was 6, 1, 7 would work. If this was a 6, 1. If this is not 7, you can't get there. Can you? Let me just double check that. 14. Yeah, that doesn't work. This has to be 7. And now I need these to add up to 7, so this one has to be a 6. Oh, please. Oh, this one we don't know. Don't believe it. Oh no. So this square now, I think hopefully this will be disambiguated by the options for here. So we've got 9. Yeah, if this was 9 it would be 18, and the 8 could have been clued. So this is not, this is 8, which makes this 17. Let's make it blue. Okay, great. The 4 here gives me a 1 here. Thank you. This has to be a double-digit clue, so it's got to be a 9. That gives me the 6 up here. Let's remove the 6 from those two positions. Now, this has to be 30-something, so we're running out of options for this now. We've now got 18 so far. So if this is 7, 9... that would be 34, and that would be fine. $13 also works. I don't believe it. 6, 9. Does 6, 9 work? 15, 33. No, that's the only one that doesn't work. Is 6 here and 9 here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what are the options for this square? 5, 7 and 9? That can't be 5. If it was 5, that square would have to have a 5 in it. And and that one can't be 5. So this is a 7, 9 pair. Okay, great. So that gives us a 7, 9 pair in this row, but again I still need to disambiguate the 1s and the 4s. I think I'm missing something really that's staring me in the face here. This is a 6 now, look, 1, 4 pair. So the 6 means the 7, 6, the 1 and the 2 get filled. That 6 fixes, maybe that's a 9. I nearly made a mistake, 9, 7. And we're left here, 1, 4 to fill. You can see this does add up to 18, so that's working, and this is going to disambiguate the puzzle, I hope, by proving this clue to be something we couldn't clue. So 7, 3, 2 is 12. If this was a 1, it would be 13, which should be clued. If it was a 4, it would be 16, which would be unclued. And this is what I would submit as the final version of the puzzle. Well, I think I definitely got my comeuppance. That is absolutely brutal. I know I feel like I was incredibly slow today, and I'm sorry for that. But yeah, hopefully you or some of you enjoyed watching me struggle. I most certainly did, and I humbly apologise. Yoo-hoo, I very much enjoyed it though. I'd have enjoyed it more if I wasn't on camera. But these things happen sometimes. It's a brilliant puzzle. Let me know if you'd like to see more. Alexa's joining in. on the video. Don't know why. See you soon on Cracking the Cryptic.